This is not a commercial for The Way I Heard It with Mike Rowe, the award-winning podcast now entering its 10th year and available wherever podcasts are listened to. No, this is a commercial for Mike Rowe's foundation, which has just set aside $10 million to help train the next generation of skilled workers. That money is available right now at microworks.org. It's waiting for anyone who wants to learn a skill that doesn't require a 4-year degree. Electricians, plumbers, linemen, welders, shipbuilders, HVAC techs. America is desperate for men and women with skills they don't teach in universities. And the MicroWorks Foundation is committed to helping train America's workforce for hundreds of thousands of AI-proof six-figure jobs just waiting to be filled. Apply today for a work ethic scholarship at microworks.org or support our efforts with a donation of any size. We're closing America's skills gap one job at a time, and we could use your help at microworks.org, MIKEROWE works.org.
Welcome to the Wired for Success podcast, your show for ambitious, mission-driven entrepreneurs who want to build million-dollar businesses without sacrificing their health, relationships, or happiness, who understand that in order to build their empire, they need a solid foundation, and that the more they are thriving, the more their business is thriving too. This show brings you the very best from science, self-development, and entrepreneurship to set you up for sustainable success. Hi, I'm Claudia Garbutt, the scientist turned mindset and high-performance coach for entrepreneurs, and I help you get wired for success. Hey everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Wired for Success podcast, where we talk about all things science, self-development, and entrepreneurship that help you get to that next level of success in your life and business. My guest today is Stefano Passarello, a multifaceted entrepreneur and innovation mentor based in Hong Kong with a strong presence across Asia and Europe. With extensive experience in entrepreneurship, angel investing, finance, and athletics, Stefano has established himself as a remarkable figure in the world of business. As the founder of People and Projects, or P&P for short, in 2006, Stefano scaled the company to 12 offices, serving over 3,000 clients. And after the successful acquisition of P&P back in 2018, Stefano ventured into a new endeavor by establishing Kapuhala, an innovative hospitality group running eco-resource restaurants and fitness centers in Koh Samui, Sicily, and Hong Kong, with a clear focus on longevity and biohacking. And back in 2021, Stefano is back in the corporate services businesses and founded the accounting firm Monks, which has already expanded to offices across Asia, Europe, the Middle East, and North America. So Stefano really is a longevity seeker, and he studies specifically nutrition, fitness, and biohacking, which he continues to share through Kapuhala. And as an accomplished multi-sport athlete and advocate of a plant-based lifestyle, he has achieved remarkable feats, including holding the Standard Chartered Marathon record in Hong Kong and breaking the AG World Record in the marathon split at the Ironman World Championship. So that sounds super impressive, and I love the mix of business and biohacking. And now I'm really looking forward to our conversation today. So welcome, Stefano, and thank you so much for being on my show today.
And thank you so much to giving voice to these people that are now named biohackers, but they are just simply people. They are trying to fix their own mess.
So true. Now, Stefano, it sounds like you're a very serious serial entrepreneur. And I mean, where did this come from? Do you come from a family of entrepreneurs, or how did you stumble into entrepreneurship?
No, I come from a family of doctors. That's why I'm going back to be a doctor at some point. And but I always had a hitch for projects. And I would say that I regretted badly during my university time not to have become a doctor. Very badly. I was depressed. I thought that being a doctor was what I should have done, but I was inspired by the fact that I could make money, I could make millions. So I took a test for an important business school, which I passed, unfortunately. And I went into the business school just because of my ego. And I got stuck in there. So I said, okay, I'm stuck. I would rather do it properly. That that failing it. And I think I had the positive reinforcement of doing a few projects well during the university period, just to ease the pain of not being able to being a doctor. And they come right. And after that, serial entrepreneurship is the only entrepreneurship I know. Because if you have the feeling, if you have the entrepreneurial spirit, you will apply to anything. You will apply to anything. So my parents are not entrepreneurial at all. They are the most risk-averse person I have ever met. Still, I've become an entrepreneur. And I'm one of those hardcore ones that would make a business out of anything.
That is absolutely fascinating. So what is it that you love most about being an entrepreneur? Is it still the being able to make a lot of money side of things? Is it to bring your dreams into reality, to create something? Or what is it about entrepreneurship that you love so much?
I just love the money. I don't care about anything else. I'm just serious. The money is the thing that drives me the least. The money is just the goal, the temperature. It's just about how you measure it. I can tell you that the moment I did my first exit, I was already broke. And you will find it funny. So I'll tell you the story without entering too much details. I knew that the exit was about to happen. So even before the exit was happening, I already reinvested in a project that was gratifying me more spiritually and intellectually and had a purpose, which is Kapuhala. So I sold my accounting business after 13 years, over 3,000 clients, 12 offices around the globe, successful, beautiful, everything, because I was not happy there anymore. It was just about money. It was becoming bureaucracy. It was becoming corporate. It was becoming board of the directors. It was becoming talking to investors. I had enough. And then I said, whatever I learn, I will invest in places and people that can help others to fix the mess I've been through. Obesity, alcoholism, addiction, you think of the stuff. Unhappiness.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Right? So I was at the prime of my business days when I was able to be an athlete and an entrepreneur. So the two things, they don't diverge, right? The happiness at work and your performance at work are strictly correlated to your performance at home and your performance in your body. When I see people, they're saying, you gain a little bit of weight here. Yeah, I'm working a lot. I'm under stress. And I'm questioning. So if you're under stress, it's because you're not working out enough. This is the problem. You're not working out enough. So if you want to be the best version of yourself at work, at home, you have the responsibility of taking care of your body. Because if not, you will be at suboptimal. How do you feel today? And the other person usually like, I didn't sleep well. Oh, I know I feel bloated. Oh, I know I feel this. You never hear somebody that says, I feel awesome. I feel completely awesome. You ask me how I feel. I feel awesome, Claudia. I feel like a star. And if I don't feel awesome that day, I will work my butt so that I feel awesome, so that I can be the best entrepreneur I can be. So after selling the business and setting up Kapuhala, guess what happens?
You tell me. I have no idea.
COVID.
Oh, no.
So I sell my profitable business. I make quite a bit of money. I'm a millionaire for a day or two. I invest everything, of course, it was already planned, on my beautiful life-enhancing biohacking retreats for forward thinkers, entrepreneurs. 1 month in the game, boom, COVID.
Timing. Awesome. That's
Beautiful.
how it goes. I mean, that's
Yes.
the thing about entrepreneurship. One day you are on top of the world, and the next day everything stops working or something crazy
For
happens.
3 years, I couldn't work because I had a non-competition agreement. I couldn't work here at Kapuhala because right now I'm here in Koh Samui in our Kapuhala resort because there were no customers, there was no mobility.
Yeah.
For 2-3 years, I pondered, what do I do the moment I can start working again? And then Monks. Monks is the most customer-centric accounting firm that you will ever find. And we will be famous for this. So what happened is that my desire of making everything back, it boiled and brewed so much into the spirit of an entrepreneur, compounded with a regimen that put my mind in the very right state. And 2 years and 3 months ago, I restarted Monks with the most amazing team of people. Now we are 72 people. We have 9 offices. We have approximately 1,000 clients. And we've never been happy as before, at least my side. But I can tell you also my guys are happy because I tell them to come to the retreat, to the resort, anytime they want. And now I have 2 of them in the gym making noise and disturbing this beautiful interview. But I will be nice with them and let them do it. So this is the compromise, and the promise that we give to our employees is that they can work whenever they want, free of charge, from our resort, Kapuhala. Right?
That's amazing.
This is the work-life balance. And when people ask me, how do you find work-life balance? My reply is, if you don't find your life balance, you cannot work, right? You cannot work. It's impossible for you to work if you don't find your balance, right? So this is the most important thing that I've learned, is that there is not such a thing as work-life balance. To be at top peak performance, first, your life and your body should be taken care of. It's the massive scale of values. You don't progress to the next step if you don't take care of the base of the pyramid, right?
Yeah.
I wake up in the morning and I'm not good. I cannot even turn on the computer. I have the responsibility of being at my best every single day because I'm doing it for my clients and I'm doing it for my people. And if I'm not 100% perfect, I don't show up. But I always show up. For me, it's not like the stereotypical Rocky Balboa, wake up, don't hit the snooze button. It's not like that. I jump off bed. It's 5:59 every morning, 5:59. It's before 6. I jump off the bed and I start drilling. I start moving. The moment I start moving, I warm up. The moment I warm up, I start thinking better. And I do an autopilot, right? Everybody can afford a treadmill or a stationary bike. Everybody can afford it. Everybody can afford to walk in a park. Walk. First 30 to 40 minutes of your day should not be spent preparing breakfast because your insulin has the peak. And you will hit that and it will mess up your cortisol release. Don't listen to Kellogg's forcing us to believe that the breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It's not. It's not. It's the meal of the day that will make you sleepy. So breakfast, if you want to have a first meal and you're doing intermittent fasting, which I swear, on, delay until a few hours, stay in a fasted state, go for a run, go for a walk, go for whatever, because right there, in that moment of starvation, you are reaching autophagy. Basically, you are regenerating yourself, right? You're cleaning yourself up. So the body doesn't find the accessible glucose and will start saying, oh, where do I find my energy? And the liver will start digging in the glycogen storage. And then you start activating. And, scarcity, it's what produces strength.
Strength on all
Stress,
levels.
little amount of stresses called hormesis.
Yeah.
Hormesis is small, painful exposure to daily pain that doesn't kill you, but over the long period will create superhumans. Now, we can all become superhumans. And now, after those days that I've spent, I was crying, I was destroyed, I was very bad. Not just because of the money, it was just because I needed to let go of some of the people. Of course, my family wasn't happy. I really dig down. But again, the morning runs, the morning walks, put everything in perspective of all time. It's my silent friend, right?
Yes, I totally agree. It's something that I do as well. I love the early morning runs when you can watch the sun rise over the hill. It's just amazing. It's the most beautiful time of the day. You still have the peace and quiet. And it's just, it's my favorite time of day. So I totally agree.
It's also because you start being exposed to those blue rays that you don't want to have at nighttime. Because exactly. we are very historic animals, and to go forward, we need to go and look back, right? Like the exposure to the circadian rhythm. My 3 pillars, if I may, is, and this is what Kapuhala is based on, is eat, move, and live. So eat is eating mindfully, eat slow, eat intermittently, and strictly plant-based. We can dig deeper on the longevity of the plant-based.
Yes, we will come back to that.
Moving should be burn, build, and fix in this order. Every morning I wake up, I burn. Midday I build. At night I fix through yoga. Right? So burn, build, and fix. You need to move and burn. You need to build your muscles. You need to fix yourself. Yoga, meditation, sauna, ice bath. Better sauna than ice bath at night. And then live, the most important thing. Live socially. Follow your circadian rhythm. Sleep properly. Now, these 9 things put together will not just give you longevity, but it will create an environment that is very similar to a thing called the blue zones, where people live the longest. My ultimate desire is creating a hotspot where people come here and they live in a blue zone. All right? They live in a blue zone. They live in a place where they can live longer. And what I'm trying to do, and I'm not trying to sell anything, people can come. If I'm here, I coach for free, right? Because I'm an accountant. This is not my job.
Yeah.
So I just exposed them. I wrote a protocol. I'm certified at the end. I became a doctor. At the end, I certified in quite a few things, in nutrition, physiotherapy, and many other things as a part-time. So I can practice, but I decided not to, because my job is being an accountant and taking care of longevity of organizations or companies. But I have a team of people taking care of our clients here. Usually the founders of my clients, of the companies I take care of as an accountant, are those that need the most guidance. They think that being successful entrepreneurs justifies the fact that they are slightly overweight, justifies and condone that they are not at top performance, right? So I'm successful. I'm justified to be slightly unhealthy because I'm working so much. No, it's not true. Everybody has those 30 minutes per day that you're scrolling your phone and you can do a kick-ass HIIT workout, sorry if I say the word if I say the word workout, in 30 minutes. And I can teach you. You just need a kettlebell. My kettlebell is there right now. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is kettlebell right with the ropes. I go there whenever I feel a little bit lethargic. I swing this kettlebell for 100 times, squeezing my glutes, and then after that I hang on the rope. Boom.
Yeah.
Everything comes back.
I mean, people
right?
can just do body weight training or jump up and down for a minute or dance to their favorite song.
Correct. Correct.
It
Or
doesn't take
they can just stand. You know, you don't need to go as far as standing. I mean, I have a standing treadmill. I mean, I have a treadmill with a standing desk, and I use it regularly. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't do the interview with that. Otherwise, it would have been like you would have motion after that. I wrote a few articles on moving and learning. There is a beautiful book called Spark. I suggest everyone to look at that. They expose kids to double the physical activity of peers in the same schools, a class, and they came first to the math games. This is a beautiful book called Spark. I mean, you may research it. Anyway, the thing, the message that I like to leave is there are so many small, simple practices that can really improve your quality of life so dramatically with a minimum effective dose. You don't need the 3 hours, 5 hours workout. You need to work out maybe 45 minutes per day, broken in 15 minutes morning, 15 minutes lunch, and 15 minutes before dinner. You have 15 minutes, you have it to scroll your phone, right? I can tell you in 15 minutes in the morning, you can do a nice cardio workout. In 15 minutes, you can do a HIIT workout with strength. And in 15 minutes, you can do a beautiful stretch. Your life will improve.
Yeah, absolutely. That is something, the idea of those exercise snacks, if you like, is something that I'm trying to incorporate more these days, because I usually just did one like a longer run in the morning, or maybe just 5 to 10K, something like that in the morning. And that basically was it. But then I noticed that when I spend a lot of time in front of the computer, as I do, I tend to get very tense in the shoulders and the neck.
It's just your brain. You start thinking slower. Another thing, you call it fitness neck. If you want to top this fitness neck with the most amazing, delicious cream, intermittent fasting. It's what bring your cognitive performance not at a high level, at the highest level you can ever imagine. So the routine I will unveil, it's very easy. When people come here and they sign for the longevity package, they don't know what to expect. But I measure them when they enter, and I measure them when they go out. What do I measure? Series of things that I'm not gonna really elaborate, but one of them is HRV, heart rate variability, for example. I'll do heart rate, how far, I'll do some blood, all right, for those that want. Otherwise, they can just hear and reply to a questionnaire. Be very low level. How do you feel? How's it that? Blah, blah, blah. How your bowel mobility is, you know? So the routine is very simple. We wake up following circadian rhythm with the sun. We are facing the sun here. So it's a beautiful day. We sleep in tented villas. It's very luxurious, but it's in contact with nature, right? So it's not a tent. It's a tented villa, okay? It's not a camping. It's a glamping. But you still feel the contact with nature. You know, I start getting old. I want to be comfortable, you know. So I need to get something a little bit better than a normal tent. But you still feel the comfort of living without walls and the priming experience. So you wake up with the sun, and you start your cardio, and you go for your walk. You come back from your walk and you do a little bit of meditation, and you drink some water, and then you have a very late breakfast, right? Mainly low glycemic index fruit based. You don't want to spark insulin so fast. plant-based proteins, beautiful, nice. Don't overeat. You eat as late as you can. We serve breakfast up to noon. I mean, I build it for me. So I'm scratching my itch and I'm forcing people into my crazy routine, which are not crazy. Those that think are crazy are crazy. So you have your beautiful breakfast. After that, you do your work, you relax, you do whatever you want. I work. Then after a couple of hours, hit the gym again. Do some strength exercise. I have a protocol, but you can do like maybe some Tabata, 3 sets, 12 minutes, plus some strength. Last maybe 18 minutes. Finished. Go back and do whatever you want. But meet me at 5 o'clock at the yoga sala, and we will go for some hot yoga.
Interesting.
At that point, we do 15, 15, 15, 15. This is a longer session, but I can do 10, 10, 10. So it's 10 minutes yoga, 10 minutes sauna, 10 minutes yoga, 10 minutes sauna.
I like that.
You're out of there. We go to the pool. We hold our breath. We hyperventilate a little bit. It's a shallow pool. And we hold breath for as long as we can. Now, I'm telling you, you're almost fasted because you had a light breakfast and was your only meal of the day. You get out of the pool and you feel like you are a superhuman. I usually have from 5:30 to 6:30, 6:45, 7, 1.5 hours of work that I do after this routine. And in this 1.5 hours of work, I can work my entire to-do list of the day before in that exact 1.5 hours because my performance are at a peak state. I am mastering the flow. I'm entering the flow. I'm relaxed. I work on ketone bodies, not on glucose, right? And I'm at the best state. I'm the most powerful animal.
Sounds amazing.
It is. Not just this. The most beautiful thing is that we do it together. We have people doing that. When we hold our breath, we are all together. After work, we eat. And we eat together. We bond. We release the very secret sauce of longevity. You know what it is, Claudia?
Community? Relationships?
Tell me in a chemical form.
In chemical form. Oxytocin?
You and I will become friends. Not many people know that. Oxytocin. Did you Google it?
No. I'm a molecular biologist by profession, so.
Beautiful. Thank you. I like to talk to molecular biologists on a Tuesday afternoon. Oxytocin is the hormone that makes you feel protected. It's the hormone that the woman releases once the baby's out and is sucking your boob, contracts the uterus, save your life. The bonding, Unfortunately, my wife had a problem and she couldn't have that contraction because the baby couldn't suck properly at the right time. I learned what oxytocin is the bonding. How beautiful it was. Last night, I came from a business trip from Singapore and I came back here. They have no idea that I'm the owner of the place or that I'm the accountant. I'm just the yoga instructor here. And everybody the staff knows it, but the clients will never know who I am unless they come because they are friends. So I go and teach because otherwise it's biased, I don't want them to know that I'm the owner or I'm an accountant. Otherwise they think I'm not reputable enough, right? Nor I want on my accounting side of things, they all know that I also do this as a hobby. But you know what I mean, right? So I teach them. And yesterday, after this long trip, I came back. We did this. And I was like, talk to Crystal, my wife, that she's now running Kapuhala as the CEO while I'm taking care of moms. I was like, man, this is the life that I always wanted, I'm 42. This is the same kilometer of a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm really right in the middle of my beautiful journey. Asking if I'm happy, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And I can tell you that most of the happiness has been really like a hard path to find, because I reached happiness because I was deeply unhappy in multiple moments of my life. And yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can talk a little bit about those darker times in your life, because I think all successful entrepreneurs had to get really good, not just at the business side of things, but also at the human side of running their companies. So that includes, as you said, managing your energy, your focus, your emotions, communicating effectively, creating systems for increased productivity, and systems that foster a great company culture. So what have you personally found to be more difficult, the business side or the human side of entrepreneurship?
I would say scaling and creating procedures has been, I've been struggling with it because I'm creative by nature, although I love numbers. But in order to scale a company, you need to create procedures and you need to create systems that can be replicable. You need to write the DNA to replicate. I believe very much in law of nature. So the laws of nature apply to organizations as much as they apply to humans. When I talk about corporate longevity, the longevity that I like to discuss and apply on human is also the longevity that I like to apply on organizations and corporations. So definitely scaling, the most important thing of scaling will be creating paradigm, right? So once I have the number one done, for example, I'm making an example. If I need to scale to 10 offices, the first office will have one CEO, one GM, one that is more on the sales side, one is more on the procedure side, right? And they report to me, right? Then the second office will have exactly the same. Under the CEO, we will grow the workforce. Under the GM, we will grow the operation. So it took me a while, but now I'm clear. So I can scale doing this, right? On marketing, clusterize and defining niches. So if you shoot to the public, you don't get anyone. But for example, if I clusterize to the French, to the German, to the Italians, to the Indians, and I go to the community, or on the vegans, or on the fit boxers, or on the Les Mills fan, and I say, I'm the number one accountant for bodybuilders, I'm in a niche and I want to dominate that. I'm not saying I'm the best accountant for everyone. No, I'm the best accountant for the bodybuilders. So this is another system that you invent, but this is heuristic. It comes as you go. It strengthens, it goes as it goes. It goes as it goes. It goes as it goes. Yes. So, that's the life side of things for me at this point is simply a need. I don't struggle to find balance in life, because if I don't have balance in life, I cannot operate my business. So It's not something that is pari passu at the same level. It's above, it's beyond, it's the real base of it. So for me, if you are an entrepreneur, you have a social mission, you are responsible for people. Like, do you understand, right? My point is, if you are an entrepreneur, you have a mission, right? And you have responsibilities to the people you employ, to the clients you're serving, and to their respective families. You cannot allow yourself not to be at the best of your performance. Otherwise, you are doing a bad job.
I agree. I think your health is really the foundation of whatever you're trying to build.
And health and mental health.
Mental health, yes.
Because if I'm grumpy or something is itchy, I will become nasty to the person next to me. So you cannot run a marathon with a stone in your shoe.
It's tough for sure.
So you need to remove the stone in your shoe. My stone in my shoe, I will tell you right now, Claudia, I have morning depression, unfortunately. I have a very, very not pleasant condition. That is a morning blue. They call it morning blues when you're grumpy. They say that I shouldn't call it depression because otherwise it emphasizes something, but it's actually a morning depression. It's something that happens, right?
Okay.
But this is my little stone in my shoe. But I hack it every morning. I go for a very powerful run, or I go for a HIIT session on my bike. My little depression brought me to the Ironman World Championship in Hawaii.
That is just crazy. So I want to know all about it. What was it like to train for that? What was it like to run it?
Now I'll drop a big bomb. Every successful sport people, entrepreneurs, or anybody that has reached a remarkable achievement in either sport or business, that doesn't make them successful, because we need to rephrase success. Success is a moving target. Success is what you want to achieve. If you achieve it, you're successful. Is not, you are not, but in a very specific term. To reach the overall success, it's something a little bit more of an open discussion. But let's say anyone that has reached financial success, for example, or business success or sport success, they're all dysfunctional. I noticed that compulsion and obsession is basically the trait that makes them common. This is called the bright side of the dark side. I have my dark side, and to fix my dark side, I became a very bright side. So by doing a lot of workouts, by trying to keep healthy mentally, I did so much sport. And then I tried to do my first race, but that was already back in the days that I started this protocol of running in the morning. And I did my first race in Hong Kong. I think it was 2008. And I came like 14 out of many people. So I was like, wow, 14th. That's awesome. I'm not as bad as I thought. I'll try to do another one. And he came 5th. I said, you are talented. I was not talented. I was doing it every day. And then I started winning. And I won 27 races straight between Hong Kong and the world. I represented Hong Kong at national level while running my company. I was going for business trips and I was running races around. It was a fun time of my life. And then I had a problem with my Achilles tendon. So I said, freak, I cannot run anymore. What do I do? I start cycling. And I started cycling.
Okay.
Yeah. And I started cycling. And after I started cycling, I said, maybe Ironman. I can swim. And then Ironman came. And then I did my first race. It was very good. And then I had a coach and said, why don't you try a longer Ironman? And I tried a half Ironman. And then I qualified for Kona, Hawaii. And then I'm quite light. I'm vegan. And it was really perfect for the preparation of the race, because it was very hot. And I don't bonk because I'm mostly on a low carb diet. So I don't really need many carbs. So while those big guys were bonking towards the end of the marathon, I was still at my prime, and I ended the race breaking the age category record of the marathon. So it was amazing.
Good. Congratulations. I want to hear more about your plant-based lifestyle and how you ended up with that choice of diet. and all the prejudices that you encountered along the way. Tell me more about that.
Yeah. The Game Changers, the documentary, where they're like the bodybuilders and the athletes on a plant-based diet that were challenged, saying how you can be on this performance. Yeah. I don't know if you heard of it.
I heard of it. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's on Netflix. For me, it's I didn't start with ethical reason. Yeah, I started with simply because I was feeling better and was recovering faster from inflammation. So when you do a huge amount of training, you can train up to 30 hours per week. Yeah, that becomes very, very bad for your body, and you want to recover faster because you need to train stronger. And a plant-based diet really allowed me to recover very fast. The other thing that I felt is that my poop was better. I was having more bowel movements, and my mood was strictly correlated to my bowel movement. So the vagus nerve. I reverse engineer all of this. I was just feeling better, so doing more. It's like there is no study before. I started studying later after I understand that was beautiful. And so I studied about microbiome diversity, the vagus nerve response on your bowel movements, and many other beautiful things that I then uncovered after I realized that plant-based diet was by far superior. And I don't want to speculate on like many other things, but I will just close this with one question that I'm asked probably 12 times a day. And it is, how do you get your protein?
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to refrain myself from showing them some of my very fast moves as a very weak vegan that I can put you on the floor in exactly 3 seconds, because I can kill probably any human being as a vegan. But I refrain to do because I'm a good guy. The proteins come from many things. An elephant doesn't eat schnitzel at night. An elephant eats a lot of grass.
That's true.
Right? So this is the short answer. The long answer is, I can give you a plethora of nutrients that will have 1/5 of the fat of the meat that you are consuming, the inflammation level that will produce, and the same amount of proteins. And it goes with firm tofu, tempeh. It goes with beans. It goes with a beautiful veggie burger made with quinoa by my wife. It goes with I don't know, so many other things that I cannot even think. There's so much. There's seitan, another beautiful. Nuts, seeds. Fruits has protein. Guava has a lot of proteins. You probably didn't know that.
I love guava.
Combine that together, and you will have clean proteins that will not inflame you. You don't eat death, or you will be dead inside. The ethical side of things is something that I don't want to advocate too much about, because otherwise it becomes politics. On the body side of things, since this is what we are discussing today, definitely be plant-based, eat intermittently, and eat mindfully, and you will be the best version of yourself.
For me, I totally agree. I've been a vegetarian for probably about 10 years in my youth. I still do mostly plant-based, not entirely. But I do feel better when I eat mostly plant-based as well. But I mean, this can be different from person to person. And I just started to listen to Dave Asprey's biohacking course on Mind Valley. I'm not sure if you've watched that. And it doesn't sound like he's a big proponent of the plant-based diet. So basically what he's saying
that's why I stopped talking to Dave Asprey. I mean, It's absurd. It's probably Dave Asprey is selling drugs online, Claudia. Dave Asprey started pure and he became slave of his job. That's why I am Dave Asprey without the second how to say intention. I'm not selling you anything. I'm not selling you supplements. I'm an accountant. I don't need to sell you anything. I'm doing it based on one, feelings, second, hard scientific facts, because I'm working with clinics. I'm not a clinician, I'm not a doctor, but I hired them. Like Longevity in Singapore. I'm not advertising them. I have no stock, I have nothing. They are great. They are just one of the few out there, and one of the few I know, and they work with ethic, and they are tracking. Walter Longo.
Mm-hmm.
Look him out, look after him. I mean, Dave is a good guy, right? And he's the father of biohacking. But unfortunately, everybody is going on the simple route of selling supplements. I take 0 supplements. You give me Dave Asprey, and I'll bring him to a run.
Mm-hmm.
He will regret.
I want to see that. I want to see that. So just for folks listening, basically what he's saying is that a lot of plants have so-called entry nutrients like lectins and oxalates that can restrict the bioavailability of key nutrients such as calcium, for example, and that can cause more inflammation. So as I said, I agree that
you need to soak your lentils, and all these antiviral things are gone. I mean, it's...
Yeah, as I said, I agree that maybe some people are more susceptible than others, but I also think that just food preparation and the amounts of food that you consume are like super important. So for instance, if you cook your food right, you decrease the amount of lectins and oxalates. So I don't think it's a huge problem. And just for people to give them context, I found a very interesting paper looking at this. And the title is there such a thing as anti-nutrients? Because I think that's a valid question. So I can link to that in the show notes if people are interested, and just to have a study looking at the so-called anti-nutrients and what studies have shown about those. So no, we've talked about nutrition, we've talked about exercise. Is there anything else that you would like to share with our audience today?
Yeah, relations. This is a very important component, because like stress level can really impact badly the way we eat, the way we feel. So you either have a huge control on your emotion and you are a monk because you really experience, like, you really work on yourself. But it's not the easiest, I must admit. But if you surround yourself with good people, more good people will come. We are the average of the people we spend the most time with. If I have toxic people around, it doesn't work. Now I'm at the point of my life where I can convert the toxic. But if you're not as strong, don't expose yourself to them. Cut them out. It might look like a wimpy, coward move to cut them from your chat on WhatsApp, but I can tell you an indicator. If somebody writes you and you feel instinctively something coming up your back, saying, oh man, I know that it's going to be something bad, cut it out. You're harming yourself. You're taking low doses of something that can produce cancer. I know it's coward, but it's for the greater good of being the best person for the next person next to you. Because if you get intoxicated by toxic people, you will be intoxicating for the other people. So until you are very strong, stay with the people that will make you stronger. Once you're very strong, you can expose yourself to anyone. Am I that strong person? I don't know yet. Still, when I feel high level of toxicity in people trying to approach me, I tend to stay away from them. because I need to shine as an entrepreneur. I need to shine as a father. I need to shine as a sportsman. I have no time to have pain inflicted by energy suckers. But I can tell you one thing, Claudia. If you take the energy sucker and you send them my way, and they spend 1 hour with me, as I'm about to do, in exactly 15 minutes, between yoga, sauna, and priming, you will like them.
That's a very good word you mentioned there, priming, because I think that's brain priming is something that's really important. And a lot of people don't understand what's going on there. But everything that you're exposed to predispositions you to take some actions or to have specific thoughts. So I totally agree that if you have the chance to avoid toxic people, do it by all means, because it will save you so much energy and just focus and everything. That it's definitely worth it. And then find those people, be proactive, and find the people that are good for you. But
most importantly, Claudia, I want to show you one thing before we close. That's my office when I'm in Koh Samui.
Okay, for everyone who's just listening, can you tell us what we're seeing? Oh, that looks
simply our gym. A gym,
nice.
Outdoor gym, with an indoor gym, with a little bit of breeze and air and a lot of veggies growing in the garden. So for those that are not lucky enough to be in Thailand and to own a resort, make sure that your office has, or your cubicle has, a nice little kettlebell, right? A place to do some traction, a standing desk, and if you want to splurge, a walking pad. Movement is the base of everything. They may look at you as a weird. Smile. It's your life. They're toxic. Claudia, I would really like you to come here at some point, but unfortunately, I need to flee right now. And fortunately, because I will need to help some fellow friends, and I will need to have my oxytocin dose released for the day.
Yes, get your oxytocin. Thank you so much, Stefano, for sharing all those tips and insights with us today. I really appreciate you and your work, and I hope that I can join you in this beautiful location someday.
And I very much appreciate your scientific approach that you're bringing. It's not fluff, it's not just motivational, it's scientific, it's hard fact, it's the way it should be, because the world is full of people trying to selling nootropics and supplements. And there are not many people that want to dig deep, right? Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you. Take care. And talk. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Wired for Success podcast. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. That's a fantastic, easy, and zero-cost way to help the show grow. Just use the link in the show notes and make my day. Want more? For quick, actionable tips and insights to guided meditations and a side of biohacking, join my inner circle and get access to exclusive subscriber-only content. Again, just use the link in the show notes to join the tribe. Thank you for your support and see you on the other side. Take care and talk soon. Bye.